Well, welcome to a cold and windy day in Las Vegas, and welcome to Cars, Shops, and Collections. And today, you're gonna see something that I guarantee you've never seen before. It's a build. It's a very bold build in my opinion, but it's also pretty cool. I saw it at a car show. It's one of these cars where it stops you in your tracks and you're like, what did you do there? So Dan is the owner. He lives around the corner. Let's go see it. You guys ready? Let's go. I'm actually a little bit nervous because I don't know. I'm not sure how people are gonna react to this. I think it's gonna be you have no idea what we're gonna see, Gino, right?
No idea.
Let's see.
A minivan.
It's a minivan! Get ready. Get ready, because here it is. It's the HEMI-STANG. A HEMI-STANG, you're saying, what is a HEMI-STANG? Let's go see it. This is gonna be bonkers, you guys. Have you ever seen anything like this before? The wing, the Mustang, the front end of a Daytona. What is this? The HEMI-STANG. Dan's the owner. Let's go learn more about this beauty.
Hey guys, my name is Dan. Today I'm going to show you my Hemi-powered Mustang.
Dan, man, thanks for having us here. This really is something, I call it a very brave build.
Yeah.
What inspired you to put this together?
Well, I had the car since I was 15, and make a long story short, it had a straight 6 in it, factory sheet metal. I had it for a couple of years like that. Matter of fact, I drove it all over Southern California when I was 15 and never got a ticket.
Perfect.
When I was 16, that changed. But when I was 17, I got the crazy idea to put a Chrysler Hemi engine in here.
So this is a 66 Mustang?
This is a 66. It was a 66.
Was a 66 Mustang?
Yeah. And back then it was completely factory. It had a straight 6 in it, factory sheet metal.
White was the color?
No, it was, well, it was primered at that point in time. My mom bought the car for me for my 15th birthday. She paid $500 for it. It got towed home from Long Beach. As a matter of fact, that guy right there, Adam, went with me on the bus as 15-year-olds.
And Adam helped you build this car?
You know, he stood around a lot, giving me moral support, but I can't say he really wrenched on it too much. But suffice it to say that we took a bus out, went to go look at it. I negotiated with the guy. My mom went back there, paid the guy 500 bucks, towed it home, and then I spent a couple weeks working on it, got it fired up and running, and then kind of the rest is history. Other than when I was 17, again, I got this crazy idea that I'm gonna stick a Chrysler Hemi motor in here.
And that you did. Okay, can we back it out? I think we need to back it out in the street to really take a deep dive into what you did. Because I think people are watching. You got your Mopar fans, you got your Mustang fans, you got two different worlds. You brought them together. It's like taking the Yankees and the Red Sox, and you got the Yank Sox. Something about it. There are people watching right now that are like, what did he do? I think this is really unique. But you know there's people, I'm sure you've encountered people who are like, what did you do, man?
Yep, no, we see it all the time. I think that on the Mopar side of it, they lean a little more with me because it's like, okay, Mopar.
You see a lot of Mopar too in this. Yeah, you see a lot of Mopar. Well, let's back it out and then take a deeper dive, all right? Starts right up. Cold start. It's a cold day in Las Vegas. Look right here. Perfect. But this is not, imagine that when I first saw this at a car show about 6 months ago, you're walking through, you see this, you stop to look at this.
Yeah, it does seem to attract people's attention.
Okay, the front end, you had your Dodge Daytona, the front end of this, how did this all come together?
So this is actually kind of a real rare oddity. There was actually 50 of these front ends that were built, but they were built by a company called Fiberfab. Back in the 60s, you may recall Fiberfab did vehicles or kits like the Valkyrie, the GT40, the Jamaican, and in 1967, it's believed that they built 50 of these front ends for the 65 and 6 Mustang. Now, you can imagine, here we are back in 65, 67.
Yeah.
The Mustang is wildly popular.
Yeah.
Who really wanted to take a car, you know, whether you're a Ford, a Mopar guy, whatever, I think we can all agree the Mustangs were a pretty sexy car.
Yes.
Who wanted to take that brand new vehicle or a year old, chop it up and put this front end on it? Thus, they were poorly received. At this point in time, it's believed that there's about 13 of these, and I actually own 3 of these front ends. That's another separate story.
But then, so you have, when you get it, it's a regular 66 Mustang, you chop off the front end to put this on.
Correct, if you were going with like a stock motor and a stock configuration. In this case, I was out of room owing to the substantial size of the Chrysler Hemi motor. So I ended up cutting off everything from the firewall forward in order to fit this motor, under the hood. So basically we ended up with a tube style framework.
Whoa!
Parallel leaf springs, dropped axle, 6-inch.
56?
56.
56 Hemi. How many horsepower?
So this is a completely stock motor, and you're gonna probably be blown away by this as well. As a 17-year-old kid living in Southern California, I paid $150 for this motor from a wrecking yard in Long Beach, and they delivered it to my home in Torrance, California for that $150. This is the same motor. I've never broken it open other than to powder coat, a few components. So.
And what's so crazy, I think this is so fascinating to see this 1956 Hemi here in Las Vegas. Dodge had the last call, the final call of the Dodge Challenger. They brought in the Challenger, you haven't seen it, via helicopter at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They drop off, it's the 2023 SRT Demon 170 with 1,025 horsepower.
Yep, mind-boggling. This is about 350 horsepower, Dan.
I mean, this is the beginning to completely all the way, the last one we just saw this past week in Las Vegas. This is kind of like a full circle moment right here, if you think about it. Beginning to end here in Las Vegas. So we have this incredible Hemi-powered motor inside your Mustang. Come to the back because you have your iconic, the wings.
So with respect to the wing, and to continue or to conclude the story on the front end, so as a 17-year-old kid, and this is all pre-internet, I have no knowledge about this front end other than, to me, it does look, as you said, some sort of Daytona style front end.
Yeah.
So again, 17-year-old kid, looks like a Daytona front end.
You need the Daytona back end.
There we go.
And what year are we doing this now? Late 70s?
This would have been late 70s, 77, 78, 79. I graduated 81, and then I the silver lining on the story is, it is after graduation, you get busy with life. This thing was mostly completed, but it ended up in my parents' garage for 20 years, in another shop for several years. And then, make a long story short, we basically resurrected it about 10, 11 years ago, and there we go. So
it looks great.
So this wing is in fact from the gentleman in Texas. He does the reproduction parts for the Daytonas and the Superbirds. Winged Warriors is his website.
Okay. And he built this for you?
I told him about the project, and he liked it, and he actually owns a 66 Fastback. And he says the Superbird wing, which is what I wanted originally, because that Superbird wing is more swept back.
Okay.
He says, it's too big, it's just gonna look awkward. And so he kind of mocked it up. He says, I'll get the Daytona fins kind of held up in place, and you see if you like it. And I did, and so he sent me the Daytona fins. And he says, get them put into place, and I'll make this wing to the exact dimension. And so, I think it's Daryl or Ted, I apologize, I'm chopping it up, but from Winged Warriors back in Texas.
Put this together for you.
He gets the credit for that back wing.
But then, so this is true, one of one. There's nothing else, I've never seen anything like this before. This has to be the only one.
You got it.
We got it, there's only one and we found it. Can we go in the inside?
Yep, you're welcome.
I'll let you do the honors here. All right, what do we have?
Well, a pretty stock interior overall, other than some modifications to the dashboard there, and actually that emblem you're looking at, if you're a Dodge guy, you will not recognize that emblem anywhere because, well, this is a one of one. So I think I'll just leave it at that because I'll leave a little mystery to this.
Wait, that's the original Dodge emblem, right?
You're gonna need to look. You'll see Dodge SE emblems, you'll see a couple other versions, but you will not see an EXP, experimental.
Oh,
So.
Experimental car, but this is not the logo that they have also too on their.
That's the official Dodge.
Yeah, which they have coming out on the new EV as well.
Oh, okay.
They're bringing it back. So look again, another full circle moment. When you're driving this car, the reaction, how many people want to stop and take a picture with you?
Yes, I have to say it happens pretty regularly.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So,
and do you get the detractors of saying, how could you, your purists saying, how could you do that to a 66 Mustang and take these two worlds together? Do you get the...
It does, it happens all the time, and usually I'll step back and, I'll be next to another car, and I'll just pretend like I'm just an onlooker, and you'll hear the comments. And a lot of times the comments are just as you stepped up into the driveway, you're blown away by it.
It is so neat, yeah.
So we certainly get an equal number. I can't say that there's more detractors than there are, people who are saying positive things. I think it's about it's a mixed bag. So, but certainly the enthusiasm is there.
Check this out. Ford Mustang, the pony right there, and then the Dodge emblem over here. That's cool.
So the taillights, of course, are a completely custom project, and so part of the catalyst of the whole taillight is that people would always walk around. I'd stand, as I said, off in the distance or one or two cars over and kind of just observe, people's remarks and comments. But what I could see happening is that people would walk around the vehicle, they'd get to the back, and I could see them mouth the words, "Oh, Mustang." And it's like, okay, I got to do something to fix that. So now it definitely creates a double take.
It really does, yeah.
So this was an entirely custom assembly, and I took 59 Cadillac taillights and just created this whole.
So these are taillights off of a 59 Cadillac?
Yep, correct. And so it's kind of got that rocket ship look, if you will.
It really
and so
does, yeah.
There we go.
Can we take it for a ride?
Yeah,
Let's do it. Let's go for a ride.
All right.
Let's do it. Oh gosh, this is great.
Even this upholstery is literally 30 and 40 years old. These seats got recovered back when I was 17, 18. Anyway, so
So the dash, gauges, stuff is modified here.
Correct. I wanted to do something very different, and so this whole configuration is completely different. I actually took a second glove box door, modified it to put this, and I still need to work a speedometer and maybe.
Oh yeah, we don't have the right. Yeah, there's a couple things that are missing. That's right.
Yeah, I know.
This is your creation, Dan. You do what you want, buddy.
Well, does it make any difference how fast I'm going as long as I'm leading the rest of the pack?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
And the 8-track works. We can't play the music as a copyright, but it does work, your wife was saying?
Yeah, I can turn it on just for a moment, but no copyright infringement.
Yeah.
So 2-speed push button torque flight, if you can see that down there, that is where I shift the vehicle. So.
All right.
Oops, went over that block.
Yeah, block.
It rides pretty quiet.
It really does. It's a neat feel to it.
Well, and I do have cutouts if we want to make a little more noise, but by and large, it's nice just to cruise along without making a whole hell of a lot of noise.
Which is fantastic. Yeah, you can get that in some cars too, because you're leaving the neighborhood and you're waking everybody up or leaving early.
Yep.
But which are the switches which ones are the cutouts?
These are the cutouts right here. So.
How big of a difference when you hit them?
Well, I'll do it here for you in just a moment, so we'll let it warm up just a little further.
I mean, it's pretty cool though. You've had this since what, 78?
It's rubbing back there because Gene needs to go on a diet. I've had this, I'm going to be 60 in a few months. I've had it since I was 15, so that'll make it 45 years. Sorry, I'm trying to do the math. Would that be, 78, I believe.
Yeah, that's it's a really cool car story. We started out with a love of cars. You get the Mustang, you had this vision to do something different, and you did.
Well, and along the way, I had some other ones that I would have, you've heard it 1,000 times. Oh, I wish I would have kept that.
Yes.
I had a 72 Challenger Special Edition, the one with the little oval porthole window. But, this was really my love affair with this crazy Chrysler Hemi motor in here. And so I let that one go. There's a few other ones along the way. I had a 69 Mach 1. But again, you can't keep everything. So.
No, you can't.
I mean, unless you're Jay Leno.
And you travel, you have homes in
Correct. We have
Utah and California?
We have the home and business here. We have a home and business in Lake Tahoe. And we have another home and business up in Newburgh, Oregon. Pest control is my main line of work.
The HEMI-STANG. The bugs have been good to you then?
We worked hard for a lot of years, yeah.
I love it. The HEMI-STANG stays in Las Vegas?
No, it typically goes back to Tahoe with us. In the winter season, we store it in the Sierra foothills. My dad has a ranch property that's in the family, and this gets stored there. So.
Yeah, it's a total showstopper.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it. It was kind of what I envisioned as a kid. And I thought this is going to be wild, but it just it took 30 years before it really got to the point of being able to show it.
I'm watching the people look at the car. It's a smooth ride, is it not, Gene? It's a real smooth ride.
Yeah, it's really smooth.
How's it handle?
Like a truck.
Yeah.
Well, we've got truck type suspension. We've got parallel leaf springs and a 6-inch dropped axle, so it's certainly not rack and pinion and that kind of a thing. So,
Is the steering wheel the original?
this was a replacement. The original one was basically getting cracked. So,
Okay.
my goal was just to kind of have a fun mix of factory and then just the crazy oddity that we've created.
It certainly is. This here, just for show.
Nope, that would be the fuel pump, and that's the door solenoid. Pop open that door. Shaved, I'm sure you noticed, no door
The
handles.
door handles, yeah.
So we've got solenoids in each of the doors, and there we go. We're gonna go. I'm sorry, Gene, that rubbing is...
Now, is that style shifter? Where's that from?
That came out of a 56 Imperial as well. So it's the 2-speed push button. Back in the day, I'm sure you recall, a lot of those vehicles had push button, back in the 50s and 60s, everything was push button,
But is that now put down there because of the motor?
Because of the cable length in terms of the location, it was not practical to mount this, somewhere on the dash. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna tuck it there on the left. So, and then also the length of the cable. So just, this is a carryover from when I was 17. That was the simple solution.
Yeah.
It was just to mount it right there. So,
What's it feel like? So you got the Mustang when you were 17, cruising around in California. How does it feel now to be driving this car now? And
oh, it's definitely.
Does it take you
a lot
back?
of fun. It does take me back. It takes me mostly back from the standpoint that everybody thought I was wacko to build this thing, and of course, it got completed, but not fully completed. Now we're pretty much completed. We could talk all day about this needs to get fixed or that, but the point is,
it's character.
Yeah, we're 99% there, and it's enjoyable. By the way, the headliner I hand stitched in place when I was 17.
This up here?
So, yep. And if you look at the door panels, the same thing. And then that cover over the back seat, or excuse me, not the cover, but the upholstery on that back seat when it's down is all this diamond tuft kind of stuff.
Do you have photos of the Mustang when you first got it when you were a teen?
I'd have to pull that up on the phone and see what I have, but I got probably a few of them with me. More of them would be at home. I'd be happy to.
But so you put this in when you were 17.
Yep.
Look at your work. I mean, it's still.
Yeah, no, it's so. And embarrassingly, that was there to cover a dent because there was an awkward dent right there. But so.
What is the Mustang Club?
That's one of the local clubs here.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Mustang and Classic Ford, I think, club. So.
They're receptive to the HEMI-STANG?
They're a super nice crowd of people, but I get strange looks. Like maybe I'm the red-headed step. Step.
It's the DNA of it. It's a Mustang. Yeah. It's a Mustang with some plastic surgery done.
But yeah, I think it's got a pretty smooth ride.
It's got a real smooth ride.
And I guess we'll cut these cutouts. So it's got a little bit more.
Yeah, now we can hear it. Now I feel like I'm in the HEMI-STANG.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll avoid traffic citations or bad PR. So.
Now that's a cool sound.
Well, thanks. So the cutouts were just added a couple of years ago with that 5-inch exhaust. I happen to be at Summit in Reno, and I go to their scratch and dent area, and a couple of nicks and scratches on these gigantic 5-inch side pipes. I thought, I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but they were like $60 a piece, and then I brought them home. And then you know how it is, they're standing in the corner, I'm looking in the garage, they're in Tahoe, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm thinking, what if it's going to look like some sort of crazy Hot Wheel car, but it certainly, I think, helps give it the whole crazy look.
It adds more character to it.
All right, character, I'll go with that word.
The kid's like, what is that high?
So we make a little bit more noise with the 5-inch open exhaust, but at least it's not horrible, you know.
Yeah. It adds more to it.
Well, JC, I hope it meets with your approval.
It really does. I mean, from the moment I saw this thing, I knew I had to come meet up with you at some point and get the backstory on it and go for the ride along and get the breakdown of the interior. But it is so true. I've seen it. I also saw it this past weekend at a car show, and everyone stops. Everyone stops to look at this, and that's a pretty cool thing.
That's certainly the fun of it, and engaging the public, and just, you know, by and large, the remarks are all positive, so it makes it fun, you know. So. And for those that make the negative remarks, I'd challenge you to bring your car to the car show.
Exactly, yeah, see if we get some more comments.
There we go.
The first ever HEMI-STANG featured on Cars, Shops, and Collections, and the only HEMI-STANG in existence. Yep. Dan, thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate it, man.
If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.